Hey guys, how's it going? Solo back with another daily stock market video. It's Sunday morning, start of another great trading week tomorrow morning, and I want to do an update video on MicroVision, ticker symbol MVIS. They are a LiDAR or laser technology company, and there's some rumors, some speculations that Apple is looking to partner with a LiDAR company for their robotaxis and eventually, I think, their Apple Car that may be coming out in a few years. So obviously, just on that rumor, a lot of these LiDAR companies are popping off. Some are not. So let's take a little bit of a deep dive into what the situation is. So just as a quick reminder, this is how we ended the week last Friday. Kind of a red day overall. Was, in my opinion, just an odd week in general in the stock market last week. Just very choppy, just couldn't get a good feel for it. At least I couldn't. So I was really hesitant to open up new positions just because I don't like trading in environments like that because it's just too volatile and unpredictable, or I should say more than usual. But let's take a look at MicroVision here on Robinhood and take a look at this. So on Friday, up 13.6%, right? I'm going to show you another ticker and take a look at LAZR, which is Luminar Technologies, ticker symbol LAZR. And that you would think had a similar situation on Friday, but it didn't. Look at it. It had a big spike in the middle of the day, and then it just kind of sold off and was flat. I mean, it did end up green, but was only up 2.6%. Where if we go back to MicroVision here, look at this, up 13.6% on the day, and then after hours up almost another 1%. And I checked the news articles. There's no news that Apple is partnering with MVIS, but maybe somebody or the big money knows something that we don't. Because just off rumors that Apple is going to partner with some LiDAR company, why of all of them, or at least between the two bigger ones, in my opinion, between LAZR and MVIS, did MVIS get the pop? You know, I don't know. Let's take a look at the weekly chart though. And weekly, MicroVision is still green, but not by a lot. Kind of was selling off the past few days up until Friday, but you're still up over 4% on MVIS on the week. On the month though, you're looking fantastic, up over 187%, almost 188%. 3 months, you're absolutely popping off. You're up 978%. Let's take a look at the option chain just to see how juicy MVIS is right now. So right now, MVIS only has monthly options, which, I hate that. I really like having weekly options, more expirations. But right now, our closest expiration is pretty much exactly a month from now, March 19th. So let's see. To sell a put at the money, you would collect $480 in premium, and you would have to put up $2,000 in capital. So that's going to give you a return on risk of, wow, take a look at this, 24% in a month. That's huge. That's incredibly juicy. So I don't know. I really wish MVIS had weekly options. I could get in some weekly plays. I generally don't like monthlies only because I'm impatient and I don't want to wait a whole month or even 2 or 3 weeks for my theta decay to happen. But I would say for MVIS, if you're a believer in MVIS, if for some reason you think or you know that Apple is going to pick MVIS because they have the superior laser or LiDAR technology, in your opinion, compared to other companies, this might be a great play. Of course, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and make your own decisions. But let's take a look at the news article that really gave me a lot of this information. So this was out of Yahoo Finance off of Bloomberg. And this came out midday Friday, so 2 days ago from now. And it's titled, Apple in Talks to Buy Self-Driving Sensors, Key Step in Car Plan. If we scroll down, this was actually a very good article, had a very good amount of information. So it says right here, Apple is in discussions with multiple suppliers of self-driving car sensors known as LiDAR. According to people familiar with the matter, a key milestone toward development of its first passenger vehicle. It goes on to say, it's in active talks with a number of potential suppliers for these laser-based sensors that allow a car's computer to see its surroundings, said the people who asked not to be identified due to the private nature of the discussions. So it seems like they're talking with some company insiders, or at least that's what they're alluding to. But the key thing here, or at least my takeaway, is this sentence where it says they're in active talks with a number of potential suppliers. So it seems like they haven't pinned down which company they're going to go with. So that's why I think it's odd that one company really popped off on Friday while another company just kind of traded flat. I mean, there's other companies like Velodyne that also have similar systems that maybe they're also looking into. So really, I think what's going to happen is once one company is rumored or confirmed to be the one that Apple wants, that one is going to go to the moon, and I think the other companies will just fall off a cliff. Now, the other thing is, it says right here, as it's done with the iPhone, Apple is looking to outside vendors to supply critical hardware for a planned autonomous vehicle. The people said the ongoing decisions or discussions are a sign that Apple has yet to settle on a preferred supplier for LiDAR, and that it's likely mulling a range of options, including a heavily customized version of the sensors as it moves toward developing a car design. That's an indication that a finished product is still several years away. So again, just reiterating the fact that I don't think that they've locked down which company they want to go with. And it says right here, look at this, at least a half dozen, so at least 6 LiDAR companies have gone public via reverse merger in recent months, raising hundreds of millions of dollars by seizing on investor appetite for a bet on future demand for high-tech cars. And I think it's entirely accurate. I think a lot of this run-up in all of these laser or LiDAR companies is because retail investors or even maybe big money investors are trying to bet on which one is going to be the one Apple goes with. Because like I said, once a small startup or a new company that just IPO'd or just reverse mergered says, hey, we got a contract with Apple to produce their Apple cars, that company is going to 2x or 3x probably overnight. I mean, it's going to boom. And like I said, you have Luminar Technologies, which is up 8.9% to $35.75 at the time of this article. You also have Velodyne LiDAR, which climbed as much as 4.7%. Apple even went up a little bit at 0.8%. So like I said, a lot of companies, a lot of options for Apple to go with, and I'm sure they're going to make their decision wisely. Here's one news that's a little bit bearish. One of their Apple managers, Benjamin Lyon, who oversaw work on its self-driving car hardware, he left the company earlier this week for a space and satellite startup. And it's unclear what impact that may have on Apple's progress on delivering a commercially viable car. So if one of their key players left the company, is that going to delay things or delay some of their progress? Now, here's the other thing. These are not just for consumers, right? Apple has been testing its robotaxi technology on public roads in California since 2017. Now, here's the other thing. This one is what I found really interesting. It says cars aren't Apple's only foray into LiDAR. The company launched an iPad Pro embedded with the LAZR sensor tech last March, and it expanded the feature to the iPhone 12 Pro line last fall. The technology enhances low-light photography and augmented reality applications in the consumer devices. Using it to detect driving conditions and obstacles in the road is a more complicated feat. So maybe if they eventually acquire or partner with one of these laser or LiDAR companies, it's not just going to be for their cars. Sounds like they want to try and roll it out into applications into their iPads and phones, which is going to just absolutely make the stock go crazy, in my opinion, because many more people are going to have the iPhones and iPads than are going to eventually, initially at least, use the robo-taxis or purchase the eventual Apple car. So, wow. I mean, I think this space is ripe for a big boom, but I guess you have to kind of gamble a little bit and kind of pick which LiDAR company you think is going to be the front runner. I guess another option, and of course, again, not financial advice, is to put a little bit of money in maybe 3, 4, or 5 of the top big players, and then whichever one pops off, well, at least you already have some skin in the game. Again, not financial advice, but there's a different ways you can play these strategies. But it seems like right now, the market is just kind of waiting, just salivating to see which one Apple goes with. And then that's going to be the one that I don't even think it's going to go to the moon. It's going to go straight to Pluto. But let's do some technical analysis on MVIS. So if you saw my last video on MVIS, I actually put it out this day, I believe on February 12th. And I thought that MVIS was way overbought, and I thought we were going to have a pullback because the RSI was, take a look at this, already over 90. So I will admit, I was wrong. In fact, I was so wrong that we didn't have any pullback. We had a huge gap up green day the next day. However, the following 2 days after that is when that pullback came. We had 2 pretty significant red days in a row. So I was a day late and $1 short, basically. I was a little bit too early in my prediction, but like I said, we closed Friday in the green, and I think this area of support that I thought may be an area of support held up roughly at $18. I mean, take a look at this. We basically bottomed out there on February 18th, and intraday, we basically bottomed out there on Friday. So $18.30 or so, right where the 23.6% Fibonacci level is, might be our new level of support. Again, though, we are creeping back up towards the overbought side. We may still have a little bit more room to run, but my question in the back of my mind is, why did MVIS pop off 13.6% to close out the week, whereas other tickers, take a look at LAZR. Here's LAZR's chart, and it's been so flat, right? If we go back to MVIS, MVIS has just been on a tear. It's just gone parabolic the past month, whereas LAZR has just been flat, which is another prominent LiDAR company. So does this mean that MVIS is the front runner right now? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below which one of the LiDAR companies you think is the best one and you think that Apple would partner with. Do you have any shares or options of any of the LiDAR companies? Leave me a comment below. But let's take a look and end the video at the option flow data to see what the big money investors were doing with MVIS. So here's Sweepcast, one of the option flow platforms that I'm using to test out. And check a look at this. So not a lot of price action on MVIS to end the day on Friday. 8 calls came in, 2 puts. But take a look at this. Overall, the sentiment is bearish, actually 71.4% according to this platform. And towards the end of the day, it looks like the biggest options were for about $100,000 or more. Not huge money, but looking at the sentiment indicator here, most of them are bearish or neutral. We have 2 bullish ones that came in toward the middle of the day. So I don't know, maybe the market or the big money does think that we are due for a little bit more of a pullback on MVIS. I don't know. There's not a lot of option flow data here. Obviously, MVIS is not one of the most liquid or the most popular tickers right now to trade options on or even shares on. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you join the Discord server if you're not in there already. Add me on StockTwits, Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit. And let's have another green trading week. I'll see you on the moon.